Welcome to my world, another day, another time, another period for knowledge acquisition. Knowledge is power, health is wealth. Today's topic has to do with weight loss, laboratory diagnosis. My concentration is on the parasites. Understanding of weight loss ordinarily is very easy when you talk of people who are malnourished, that is, poverty-stricken people. You do not expect them to gain weight, but to experience weight loss. But when you are talking of weight loss, you are talking of people who are really being fed, and yet they are losing weight. It's something that is global, that is, when we say from childhood to adulthood. Although it is understandable that when we start growing old, at old age, you start losing your weight. It is a general thing that happens because of the testosterone, all those things that really build up the body, but they are now dwindling in quantity and number. But we are talking of a weight loss as a result of parasites. I am limiting it to parasite. So how the parasite really cause this weight loss, it's only the laboratory that can identify the parasites and also explain how it causes weight loss. Ordinarily, you can take it that once a person is being infested with parasites and he start experiencing discomfort of diarrhea, dysentery, or other discomforts, then it could explain the reason for weight loss. But let us really use the laboratory to unravel this weight loss problem. If you like my presentation, press the like button, subscribe, and more knowledge will be passed on to you as we go into the slide section where everything shall be well explained. Yeah, the choice of this topic was informed from the question one of my cousins asked me on the weight loss, and I took it from there. And I must also thank one great priest, the chancellor, who really appreciated the good work I'm doing. So let's go. Outline. The outline of what we shall be talking about are objective, introduction, classification of parasite, weight loss as a symptom, lab diagnosis, prevention and control of weight loss. The objective: to expose the various parasites inhabiting man that cause weight loss and the control measures necessary to put in place to reduce their menace. Introduction. There is a need to understand unplanned weight loss. What I mean by that is you don't just know that you are getting thinner or leaner, and people tend to be concerned. It creates anxieties and worries because people see the symptom and will tell you what's wrong with your health. This gives you a little concern that you don't even know. You get worried, you keep wanting to know, which is quite different from the weight loss you embark upon on earth ground by reducing calories intake because you are overweight. Similarly, neonates are also checked to know whether their health is improving because ill health could easily be known from how well you nurture these babies. It is a kind of a postnatal event that, apart from the vaccines that are given, the weight is also checked to know whether the child is increasing in weight, which is expected of anybody that is eating. It is a normal process that when you eat enough and you eat well, you grow in weight. The body uses it to grow the child. Weight loss is an unnatural phenomenon because from babyhood to adulthood, you are supposed to be gaining weight except when you don't feed well or eat healthy food. As you can see from this picture, pound of muscle is the same as a pound of fat. You can see it weighed on the weighing balance. But what you will notice is that the space occupied by a pound of muscle is smaller compared to the space occupied by a pound of fat. And that is exactly what happens when we are growing as children up to certain age, 30 and above. We continue to increase in weight and the muscle mass. But as these testosterone and the other diminish, the estrogen diminishes, the ability to use this protein and what have you that we eat to build the body is reduced. So what you now have is that the person is now storing more of fat, no longer muscles. So muscle weight, when you see a big person, very muscular person, the weight is higher than the same size of person fat. That's muscle weigh more than fat. And when you are reducing in weight, it is obviously either you are not eating the correct diet, or there is something really causing the problem, which the intention of this video is to to take the parasite as one of the things that could cause weight loss, and that's what we are examining right here. So any weight loss experience has underlying condition predisposing one to lose weight. We all know that HIV patients suffer great weight loss because of the debilitating effect of the virus, and they really lose emaciated. My effort is surely, I repeat, to cover only parasites that cause weight loss, which is usually accompanied by diarrhea, dysentery, malnutrition, blood loss, anemia, etc., etc. Yeah, classification of parasites. When you talk of classification of parasites, like taking the whole study of called parasitology. It is a very wide field that people get a PhD over, professors. The human parasite belongs to 3 to 4 phyla: protozoa, mints, and nematodes. The ectoparasite constitute the arthropod constitute the fourth phyla. There are 3 major categories of protozoa. One of them, the flagellates, the amoebae, and the ciliate. But malaria is caused by a protozoan of the genus Plasmodium and is part of what will cause weight loss. So the others are flatworms, roundworms, causer of diarrhea, dysentery, blood fluke, liver fluke, lung fluke. You can also talk of Paragonimus westermanni that reside in the lung. All these things cause serious the malnutrition for the person, and that result in weight loss. The other one is even cancer, where you talk of hematobium, the blood flukes. They have been incriminated in causing cancer of that region, and the patient emaciate as well, are the ways they cause weight loss. If you look at this diagram, you will discover that the parasites can lodge anywhere from the brain, eye, limbs, lung, liver, intestine, muscles, blood, the joints, and even the skin. These are all residents for parasite, different type of parasite, and they really cause weight loss because the person becomes emaciated. Parasites, the worms especially, during their migration, they perforate some of these intestinal organs and create that peritonitis, serious ulcer. The liver too, you have liver fluke resident there, so it really affects the function of the liver. The liver is a very big organ, and you can imagine when that liver is damaged, the weight loss that would be experienced. The same thing, you can have liver migrants on the skin, making the person really but at times you want to believe that it is because they are not feeding well. People who don't feed well experience all these parasitemia or infestation of parasites, and it's more of a sanitation wash thing. But regardless of all this, it could cause weight loss. So weight loss can be in the brain when you talk of the amoeba that really eats up the brain. Yeah, signs and symptoms of weight loss could include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, dysentery, ulcers, fatigue, muscle weakness, especially with trichinella, the parasite that invades and lives inside the muscle, fever for malaria and all the protozoan, increased illness or infection, loss of appetite, cough usually experienced with ascaris lumbricoides because the the roundworm moves everywhere. The space they occupy, these are all signs and symptoms of weight loss. Lab diagnosis. The protozoa are usually in blood and staining of a thick or thin film, which you can easily do in the lab to examine whether there are these parasites in the blood. There are so many tests that can be done to check for the parasite, but they are specific for them. Some parasites need biopsy, and even the bone marrow could even be examined in some cases for thorough identification. Most of the flatworms and roundworms are diagnosed through the microscopy of urine or stool, where their eggs are showing characteristic features. You can see spines, you can see the shape, you can see the eggs inside, the embryo inside, the embryolated eggs, trichuria, ascaris, lumbricoides. You can see schistosome, hematobium, japonicum, and so many of them, Enterobius vermicularis, yes, the tiny pinworm, even the Condyloides stachyoralis, hookworm, ankylostoma. There are so many of these parasites that really cause serious diarrhea, dysentery, malnutrition, because some of them even take up the essential vitamins that will build up some part of the body that adds weight to what you have. These loss of water and nutrients and what have you is what really is responsible for weight loss. The adult worms are seen macroscopically, and you need to just look at them, and even some features of the patient, like leishmaniasis, which is very horrible, ugly sights that we see. Prevention and control. Prevention and control measures are so many based on the one endemic in the area where one lives or one feels necessary to help. Nutrition is the number one control measure, because if you don't eat well, you cannot complain of weight loss. Many malnourished children harbor worms of medical importance. The other measure is WASH, the acronym for water, sanitation, and hygiene. If there are potable water, very accessible, people will not be drinking waters that contain these parasites or eggs or larvae or whatever. And sanitation would also take care of the environment to prevent the intermediate host or what have you from or vectors from attacking humans. Then the hygiene generally, washing hand regularly, and cooking your food very well so that it is well cooked and it's not transferring any disease to you. The knowledge of the life cycle of various parasites has been very useful in control measure, as they could be attacked from various front or perspective. Like for example, the malaria parasite has a definitive host and intermediate host. Man is the intermediate host, so we can eradicate the definitive host, mosquitoes, by fumigation or genetic engineering or what have you. That will disrupt their life cycle and end malaria scourge. We can also use therapeutic medicine or prophylaxis to prevent their establishment. Vaccines could also be used, as it's being used now, to prevent it. Wearing of shoes or protective equipment against penetration of the skin in the endemic areas by these various parasites, especially where vaccines are not available. In endemic region, the warming of children are done as a routine to prevent the complications of worm infestation, and eradication of vectors or bedbugs are also useful as control measures. Please check more of this video for health challenges. If you like my presentation, just subscribe and increase the number of people which will encourage more production, more quality production from me. You can always watch other videos on this channel.